Let's compare some Micro Galaxy Squadron pod racing vehicles.
Varykino, living the Star Wars life.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Varykino YouTube channel. Today I have a comparison between two vehicles from the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. First off, we have Cobb Vanth on his speeder bike from The Mandalorian, next to Anakin's Podracer from The Phantom Menace. These vehicles are both from Series 1 of the line, though they came out at very different times. This vehicle was part of the mystery box line, which I unfortunately didn't find myself. I had to buy it from a fellow collector. So this one took me a while to acquire. This one recently showed up alongside Series 2, even though the box says Series 1, as part of the Boonta Eve Battle Pack, which is currently available here on shelves in New Zealand. It is a 2-vehicle set, which also includes Sebulba's Podracer as well. If you want to see a full review of that one, I'll have the separate review linked down below, so you can check that out if you want to see a full review of those two Podracers. But one of the things that I was really curious about was getting these two side by side to really check out similarities and differences, and just to see if there's too much of a difference in scale. So let's take a look. First off, they actually look pretty close in scale. When I first got this one out, I thought, oh gosh, that looks a lot bigger than I would have expected the boxes to be, because you can see the engine almost looks, full length through one of these boxes. You can kind of see there, knowing how they sort of package them on the inside, I thought, I don't think that would fit in there. And then when I get them out, I can see that they are indeed very, very similar. I'm trying to hold these up so you guys can see. First off, I immediately noticed that the sculpting on these is different. I don't think they have used the same components, that they have sculpted these twice. We can see they're both made in a sort of a silver tone plastic, but the sculpting details on these are quite different. We've obviously got a large attachment for this black cable here, and for the energy beam here, we've got this sort of notch there. This one has these sort of panels here. And only 2 of the sort of flaps at the front. They're definitely made from very different plastics. This one looks painted, Cobb Vanth's one looks painted in muted tones, whereas Anakin's one feels like these are separate components that are cast in a yellow plastic. These ones also hinge. They have sort of clicking points, and you can sort of hinge them in and out, and they have Anakin's blue paint, which is obviously missing from the Cobb Vanth vehicle. Cobb Vanth's little flaps here don't move. They are a little bit rubbery, so you can kind of bend them, but I can't click them backwards and forwards like I can on the Podracer here. So just to be able to handle this one a little bit better, I'm just going to take Cobb Vanth off and take this one off its base, just so I can get a decent look on that. I'm going to leave this one on its base, just because it's a little bit trickier to get on and off. So we can kind of have a look at some of the details and possibly get a cleaner look at the sculpting. This one's got different attachment points. It overall just feels like it's clearly supposed to be the same thing. Sorry if I hold it up there. Clearly supposed to be the same thing, but sculpted very differently. And I think that that's fun. I was worried that they were going to be sort of a bit of a mash, that they had sort of go, we've got one sculpt, let's just glue some things onto it and call it a day. I'm very glad to see that they are quite different. And we've got things like this little insert part here. That looks like it is sculpted in the yellow plastic. The whole end to the engine here is sculpted in yellow with a little bit of silver paint in the inside there. This one is all part of that silver paint. We can kind of see that they have sculpted them in different components. This one looks like this is all one silver piece running from tip to tip. This one, we can sort of see here from the side, that's silver to here, and then they've put the yellow end cap to match with these. So I think that that's really quite fun. I am really glad. I think the main takeaway here is that I'm really quite glad to see that they do look very, very much in scale. I know it's a little bit hard to sort of hold these things together. I will have some closer photos up on the website, and I'll probably insert some clean detail shots for you guys to see them a little bit sort of closer up together. But yeah, for anyone that's curious, they are indeed very, very much the same scale, which of course we would hope that we would see from a line that where everything is supposed to be in scale. That is kind of the marketing selling point for the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. But I know that in reality, some things are just, you know, they're always just a tiny little bit different. So I'm very, very glad to see. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding this Boonta Eve Battle Pack. It's not widely available. It's a Series 1. It says that on the box, but it's missing the launch edition sticker. So we don't really know if this was like not really like a sort of a failed one, or it just wasn't made in very large numbers. It's still a little bit of a mystery. So I wasn't sure if perhaps they had decided not to release it as part of the main line because perhaps the scale was off or something, you know, and they just decided to can it. But that is not a consideration. It's very, very similar. And I think it's kind of fun. You can see where this would be edited to take that engine and turn it into a Podracer, but feels very, very similar. And I like that the colors look pretty similar. These orange parts look like they are painted very differently to the orange parts here. You can kind of see that. This one looks glossy, this one looks dull. But I think that's the point of the Cobb Vanth speeder. It's supposed to look sort of a bit dull and a bit beaten up because of how we see it. And it's supposed to be, you know, years after Anakin's built his, not exactly shiny new Podracer, but at least it was newly built when we see it in Phantom Menace. And this is sort of, you know, decades later. We can see it sort of formed like this. We don't really know what truly happened to it in those intervening years. But I'm sorry for waffling on. I'm just very, very excited to see that they are indeed. I honestly thought this was going to be undersized. I honestly thought it was going to be, and I was like, it would be a bit of a shame, but it's not like I can, you know, complain. I know I'm very fortunate to be able to compare these two in person. I know this one is still not widely available, and this one was a chase. I really do wish that they didn't do as many of the chase vehicles within this line, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that really wants to collect as many of them as I can, and that does complicate things. So hope you enjoyed this comparison. I'll have photos, as I said, on the website, and I'll hopefully insert some here so that you can take a closer look at them and sort of look at the details. But I'm very, very happy to add both of these, and I think I appreciate them more knowing that they are fully in scale with each other. I think that that's fantastic. So props to Jazwares for keeping the scale similar on these two pieces. So thank you so much for watching this comparison video. Be sure to check out our Boonta Eve Battle Pack unboxing if you want to see that full set in closer detail. And thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Check out our other videos and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.